In this video, Dan Morehead, founder and manager partner of Pantera Capital, discusses the future of cryptocurrency adoption in the U.S. He shares insights on how the landscape may evolve over the coming year, emphasizing key trends and potential changes in the regulatory environment that could impact the crypto market. Morehead's analysis provides a perspective on the increasing integration of cryptocurrencies into mainstream finance and the implication for investors.
Almost zero exposure to blockchain, so once they start engaging in this space, it should do well.
So this fund that you run is an institutional fund, correct?
Yeah.
So what kind of conversations are you having now to segue into that time when institutions can actually allocate money?
Oh, it's really changed since the election. Last summer, when the markets were very low and we had very little interest, and since the election, so many people are trying to figure out how to get exposure to this space.
When you hear a Microsoft, I think Michael Saylor just pitched the whole Bitcoin strategy of MicroStrategies to Microsoft. They passed. I think they might have passed in a prior lifetime, but they passed recently. Thoughts on that? That, you know, he is obviously pushing that, but a lot of people are sort of backing away. I mean, is there another company that has to come in to sort of galvanize what Michael's done?
He's done a great job, raising awareness, but probably most big corporations are not going to have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, just like they don't have yen or bonds or, gold or whatever. But big institutions, insurance companies, pension plans, endowments, they're the ones that are going to come in and really push this market up.
So what's preventing them right now, those big institutions? I mean, for some of them, I think there seems to be nothing preventing them. But what are some of the regulations that would be lifted that would allow that to happen?
Well, it's been very unclear what is a security and what is not a security. The regulators in the U.S. are pursuing lawsuits against some of the bigger companies in this space, and so that gives institutions pause. If that gets cleared up, you could imagine institutions wanting to get access to a new asset class. This is very similar to commodities in the 80s or emerging markets in the 90s or mortgages in the 70s and 80s. It's just a new asset class, and most people don't have exposure to it yet.
Dan, people keep talking about regulation or more clarity and the like here. How much of this move do you think has to do with, and Trump had been saying this on the campaign trail, the idea of some sort of Bitcoin reserve for the country? And, is that a big part of this? Or obviously there's a lot of moving parts here. What are you most excited about? What could come out of this other than regulation?
I think that is actually a really important thing. When you're the reserve currency of the world, you don't have somebody else's currency to save in. So the United States doesn't have another currency. It stores $600 billion in gold, which is a staggering amount. It's equivalent to 11 million years of American worker wages. So that's kind of crazy. Go to digital gold. Bitcoin, it's much better. And so I do think it's totally rational. The U.S. already owns 1% of the world's Bitcoins. Keep that, increase that. So I do think it is actually a really good policy. There's a couple countries that already do own Bitcoin. It'd be great for the U.S. to get out in the lead.
How do you manage the portfolio in terms of, you have outsized positions now just because of the run. And so where are you trimming, or where have you trimmed, and what are some of the more undervalued cryptos out there?
Yeah, so the fun bit about cryptos, we've been doing this for 11 years, and Bitcoin's almost gone a little bit more than doubled this year. And so everyone's talking about, isn't that wild, it doubled? On average, it's done that for 11 years in a row, right? So crypto going up double is not remarkable, actually. And so we're normally long because we think the markets are going to go up, another huge amount, like another order of magnitude possibly. So we're typically long. We're always just looking at which other tokens are interesting. We have a big position in TON, Telegram's token, Solana.